Nicola Bulley died in 2 breaths as cop reveals mum's final moments after cliff edge fall into 4C water. Nicola Bulley died in 2 breaths in seconds after falling in 4C water, an inquest heard today. The mum of 2's final moments were revealed after she fell into the river wire from a cliff edge drop on January 27. In the steady flow of the river, the inquest heard. The court was told the water was just 4C when Nicola vanished, which is cold enough to lead to cold water shock and cause a person's muscles to seize up. Diving expert Professor Mike Tipton said she would have lost consciousness almost instantly. He also suggested she would have drowned in 1 or 2 breaths due to her size and the temperature of the water. Tragically, Professor Tipton said she would have died in less than minutes. He added, the lethal dose of water into the lungs, with fresh water, is 2 liters. In that first breath you would have taken in 1 to 2 liters. So it would only take maybe 1 or 2 breaths to cross the lethal dose. The grim hypothesis was shared by cold water expert Dr. Patrick Morgan, who explained how a person falling into cold water will suffer an excessively high heart rate as their blood pressure surges. He added, the heart pumps no blood and the brain switches off. The potential conscious time here quoted are optimistic. It is potentially shorter. On the occasion that the individual has taken that initial gasp on the surface of the water and then gone below. The duration would be 10 seconds that you could hold your breath and very likely 1 or 2 seconds at best. The inquest also heard from PC Matthew Thackeray from the Northwest Police Underwater Search and Marine Unit, who described the drop into the water where Nicola vanished as a cliff edge. The officer told the inquest, "It's my belief that if she did fall in she was probably floating and being pushed along the flow." When asked if it would be possible to climb out of the river once in, he added, "No, not at all. It's very difficult to get out of the water here. There is nothing to grab hold of to help yourself back out. It would have taken 2 to 3 minutes to reach a point where Nicola could climb out the river, which PC Thackeray said was an awfully long time in very cold water." A full 2-day inquest into Nicola's death opened today at Preston's County Hall in front of partner Paul Ansell, sister Louise Cunningham and parents Ernest and Dot Bulley. Home Office pathologist Dr. Allison Armour, who carried out a post-mortem on Nicola, gave her cause of death as drowning. The expert said she believed Nicola was alive when she entered the water and confirmed there was no sign she had been assaulted before her death and no indication of third-party involvement. Dr. Armour said the internal examination found classic signs of asphyxia, which happens when the body is deprived of oxygen, but there was no sign of trauma to Nicola's neck. The court was also told, flecks and fragments of dirt were found inside Nicola's throat and there was water in and around her lungs, which are typical features seen in drowning. Nicola also had several bruises on her body, including on her right arm, and therapeutic levels of a beta blocker in her system. Dr. Armour confirmed Nicola had not been drinking before her death. Mortgage advisor Nicola vanished without a trace after dropping her 2 daughters, aged 6 and 9, off at school in St. Michael's-on-Wyre, Lancashire. Tragically, her body was found in the river on February 19, 3 weeks after she vanished. Her disappearance gripped the nation after it was revealed her mobile was found on a bench by the river still connected to a work conference call. Nicola's pet Springer Spaniel Willow was also discovered, but there was no trace still of the mum of 2. Richard Fife, who was walking his dogs close to the field where Nicola was last seen, told the hearing about a mysterious man in black. The witness said he saw the 6 feet 1 inch figure walking towards the fields and assumed he was waiting for a lift. Mr. Fife saw him again on his way back from the walk and thought it was strange he was still there. He said he reported the sighting to police after learning Nicola had gone missing. Another witness, Penny Fletcher, told how she found dog Willow running from the bench where Nicola's phone was found towards the really steep drop to the river. She said, "It wasn't doing anything chaotically, it was a bit giddy. I saw a mobile phone on the bench and between the bench and the river I saw a bundle in the grass. I walked down and it was one of those dog harnesses." Penny explained she called the number of a veterinary surgery on Willow's tag before calling her daughter-in-law to ask about the dog. Her daughter-in-law, Anne-Marie Fletcher, replied, "Oh no, it's Nikki's dog and Nikki has gone missing." Anne-Marie later recognized Nicola from a picture on the lock screen of her mobile phone, which had been found by a woman called Susan Jones. She then called Nicola's partner Paul, who told her the mum was struggling, the inquest was told. While friend Lucy said she heard from Nicola moments before her disappearance about a playdate she was organizing for their daughters. Lucy had messaged Nicola back to confirm and received a message back at 8:59 am confirming a time, followed by a smiley face emoji. During the search, Lancashire police refused to waver from their main working hypothesis, that she fell in the river. But Nicola's family, including partner Paul, said they did not believe the theory and urged people to continue searching. They also hired dive expert Peter Falding, who used £50,000 sonar equipment to scour the water. He later pulled out of the hunt, saying he did not believe Nicola was in the river as she could have stood up if she fell in. Pressure is now mounting on Lancashire police over Nicola's disappearance after a series of blunders during the probe. The mum's body was found by 2 dog walkers less than a mile from where she was last seen despite a hugely complex and highly emotional search. The force also came under fire for disclosing painfully personal details of Nicola's struggle with alcohol and the perimenopause. They confirmed she had vulnerabilities at the time she went missing and was a high-risk missing person. Home Secretary Suella Braverman and Prime Minister Rishi Sunak were among officials questioning why the information was revealed. The police watchdog also launched a probe into a welfare check carried out at Nicola's home just 17 days before she vanished. An independent review is also being carried out over the force's handling of the case after being ordered by Lancashire's Police and Crime Commissioner Andrew Snowden. The inquest continues.